Okay, good evening, Board. Thank you for allowing me this time to speak. My name is Michael Yee. My wife and I have a 7-year-old child that attends Plaza Vista. Although he isn't yet of age to take the new sexual ed classes at the school, I'm here tonight to express some of our concerns with them and the new curricula that IUSD is looking to put into place, which would eventually be taught to my son as well as other kids. We viewed the documentary called A Place in the Middle that was shown at Venado Middle School and also Plaza Vista. And we feel it does not promote the acceptance of people from all backgrounds, but rather focuses on people described in the middle. If we want to educate our children comprehensively and accurately, we feel this film failed to do so. Furthermore, we have also seen some of the explicit language being used in the new sex ed classes, which we feel is questionable. We understand that IUSD must be compliant with the new AB 329 law, and we are not opposed to sex education that is age appropriate. However, many kids at the 7th grade level and younger are simply not mature enough or ready to make decisions regarding sexual activity or gender choice. But the new sex ed classes that we've seen expose these choices prematurely onto them at their still vulnerable and formative years. As USD is planning on reviewing and revising the elementary health curriculum to be aligned with AB 329, we hope that the board will include the heartfelt feelings of me, my wife, and many like-minded parents that we've talked to as part of your decision. Sex education is not just an academic subject like math, English, and natural science. It crosses the boundaries of family values and various belief systems that may have long-lasting effects on our children. So we humbly ask the board to include more parental involvement in the creation and selection of this curricula at IUSD as IUSD moves forward. Lastly, this really isn't about me or all of you. The focus should be on our children. We parents are the guardians of our children, and we're here to seek the best future for them. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Yee. All right. We'll go ahead and follow that. Thanks, everyone. It's okay to clap, but if you can kind of keep that down just a teeny bit so we can get through to everyone. Kirsten Lynch will be followed by Ann Bautista.
All right. Thank you for listening to me and welcoming so many of us. My name's Kirsten. I have been an IUSD parent for 9 years. I have 4 children currently enrolled in IUSD schools, and we've been very pleased with so much IUSD has done. And this evening, I'm also addressing you about our experience with the sex ed implemented this year. And for background, I want to say we had 2 children go through the puberty talks in elementary, and last year we had a 7th grader experience the sex ed curriculum. All the while, we were very happy with the biologically based, abstinent promoting material that was chosen. This year, we had another 7th grader take sex ed at Venado Middle School. I'd like to emphasize that it was the same school, same administrative staff, same teacher, same classroom, same family, different curriculum. And what a different experience this was. We were not happy with it at all. It was 3 weeks long. The very first day was a values activity. The class, a large class, was divided in half, agree or disagree. And these 7th graders were asked some benign questions, but some emotionally charged, politically divisive questions. And they had to agree or disagree. And my daughter stood on her own morals that she has chosen. And questions were asked if a teenage mom could ever be a good mother, or do transgender parents make good parents? She stood one of 2 people. And she felt very shamed for her own morals. She heard people say, "That's so mean." And later we found out other children had similar principles, but they said they were too scared in the classroom to stand up. I'm very surprised that IUSD is going this route. The second day, they watched the video, A Place in the Middle. And I hope you've seen this. You're seeing this 25-minute video our 7th graders are asked to watch. It's not just accepting a different lifestyle, but it seems to be promoting the transgender lifestyle as higher than other lifestyles. And it also, it really demeans American and specifically those of Christian heritage in the video. Much of the curriculum this year was inappropriate for K through 12. I would not want my high schooler to see a lot of what was on these sheets. Specifically that which was produced by Teen Talk. And I just want to remind you that parents in Cupertino have rejected this. Parents in San Diego are rejecting similar curriculum. And as a parent and educator, I am all for instructing our children in healthy behaviors all across IUSD. But this year it seemed less about instruction and more about indoctrination.
So let me ask you just to wrap up real quick.
Okay, yes. I love that Irvine, the diversity we have embraced, that we come from different religious and ethnic backgrounds, but we all strive for academic excellence. And this, of the 9 years, has been the worst experience we've had. And I ask that you would reject the Teen Talk material, reject the video, A Place in the Middle, and reject material from Planned Parenthood and their involvement in our sex ed, and that you would not rush to comply with the Healthy Youth Act until there is age-appropriate and unbiased material. I'd rather get it right than rush.
All right, listen, thank you. All right, we have Ann Bautista, followed by Elena Boomsma. And once again, please try to keep it to 3 minutes. I don't want to cut you off, so please try to wrap up in that time. Thank you.
Thank you. I completely agree with what Kirsten just said, as my daughter, or my child, does attend Venado. And I did attend the parent preview night at Venado, and I was informed on what would be taught. I read the requirements of the Healthy Youth Act, and I completely understand IUSD must implement this new law. I'm asking the board to have the health committee re-examine worksheets and lesson plans to determine if they are truly age appropriate. I will focus on 2 areas that my child experienced. The first form is called the Teen Talk Middle School Pretest. This was given on the first day of the unit. Some of the questions were quite graphic for 7th grade and shocking, especially for the first day of the unit. I do not see the relevance or goal of this pretest, and I ask the board to reevaluate and suggest removing it from the lesson plan. The second form is called What is Sex? The class was taught about vaginal sex, which I was expecting in this unit, but also oral and anal sex, what it is and how it happens. The class was also shown how to correctly use a condom. In regards to the material taught in class that day, my child stated, "Class was inappropriate today." I asked the board to reevaluate this lesson plan. If you're going to comply with the Healthy Youth Act, it states that you need to have age-appropriate material. A child just told you it was inappropriate. It has been brought to my attention, IUSD is currently using a representative from Planned Parenthood at Woodbridge High School, and also considering using curriculum written by Planned Parenthood to teach puberty in the elementary schools. I am truly disappointed IUSD would use a representative and curriculum from a politically divisive organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bautista. We have Ilana Boomsma, followed by Michael Boomsma. I apologize if I said that wrong.
That's right, you did a good job. Distinguished members of the board, my name is Alana Boomsma, and I have 4 children currently enrolled in IUSD, ranging from TK to 6th grade. Our children have had a great experience in our years in IUSD, the 8 years that we've been here, and we are so thankful for the education they've received. Having a current 6th grader, we are very interested in how AB 329, the Healthy Youth Act, is being implemented in 7th grade. To gain understanding, we viewed the film A Place in the Middle, which was shown to current 7th graders at Venado Middle School, which will be our school. I believe the objective in showing the film was to educate students on being accepting of others different from them. However, in the film, the Christian missionaries were portrayed as villains and to blame for loss of Hawaiian culture and language, as well as the reason for hate and intolerance of mahu, people who embrace both male and female traits. In contrast, after some research, I learned that the missionaries actually established a written form of the Hawaiian language, which enabled the spread of the Hawaiian culture. Through education and modern medicine, the missionaries helped to save the Hawaiian people from epidemic diseases brought by overseas traders, which brought their population down from 800,000 to 150,000 in the span of just several years. I could go on. These are just some of the untruths unnecessarily woven throughout this film. The bias is apparent. We want to teach our children facts and raise them to think independently, not push certain agendas and indoctrinate them into one way of thinking. If it's acceptance, unity, and respect for all that we want to teach our kids, then tearing down one group while elevating another defeats that entire objective. We are an extremely diverse community here in Irvine. IUSD has done a great job to embrace that and provide a school environment where children of all different backgrounds can appreciate and work well together. It is my understanding that one curriculum option available for consideration in implementing AB 329 was developed by Planned Parenthood. Selecting curriculum designed by a polarizing and controversial political organization like Planned Parenthood to educate our youth on these sensitive topics will only take major steps backwards in achieving an education community that respects everyone, including those who think and believe differently. A step in this direction will inject bias and be discriminatory, which is not only inappropriate, but is against California Education Code 220. We can do better than this. I respectfully ask for the film A Place in the Middle to be removed and for Planned Parenthood to have no part in the curriculum IUSD chooses to implement AB 329. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boomsma. All right, Michael Boomsma, followed by Noelle Fairchild.
I think she did an awesome job, although I am biased. She was my wife. Greetings, Superintendent Walker, Board President Glaske, board members and staff. Thank you for your time. And thank you also for making IUSD into a premier district, not only in Orange County, but also throughout the United States. We have, like Alana said earlier, we have 4 grade school kids. Our oldest is in 6th grade. She'll be introduced to some of this curriculum we're speaking about tonight as early as next year. I have 2 main objectives. First one is I want to encourage the spirit of aloha. Hopefully you've seen I want to ask you if you've seen the video, but I hope that you have. I'm going to encourage the spirit of aloha as defined in the movie and encourage accountability when implementing AB 329, also known as the Healthy Youth Act. Aloha, as defined in the movie, what it should be is what they talk about, harmony with the land and one another. Clearly the one another is what we're talking about here tonight. And then also love, honor, and respect. And those are things that I think were not prevalent in the movie. Instead, what was portrayed in the movie was Christian missionaries as antagonists. Everything from the cartoon characteristics and the crosses falling out of the sky, stabbing into the earth, and them chasing the Hawaiians up the hill just was really inappropriate and added no value to the conversation, which inherently could have been really, really good. It was a one-sided, historically inaccurate depiction of the Christian missionaries' purpose and impacts on Hawaiian. But more importantly, it creates an atmosphere of animosity towards Christian students. And really that's what we're here to support, are the students. It's not the policies or the politics or the law. We really want to talk about what's best for the students within the confines of the laws that we obviously have to abide by. What this movie could have been, and oh, by the way, the main character in that movie, if she was my daughter, I would have been super proud of her. She was a sharp kid. And she's awesome, plays the ukulele, has a lot of friends, very confident, well-spoken. It's no wonder that they used her as, and realize she's 11 years old, as a showpiece for this one-sided documentary. It could have been a great conduit for teaching love, honor, and respect, i.e. aloha. But in fact, unfortunately, we never unpacked how these traits were developed in this school. That was never something that went into in this movie. Missed a huge opportunity to give the majority of the students, my daughter, any useful tools on how to treat someone who's struggling with, and it doesn't have to be transgender or identity, anything. Any of these kids all struggle. They all have their thing. no useful tools were provided by this movie. It just really swung and missed. And I know that Irvine Unified is better than that, and I know that we take a lot of pride, and, oh, by the way, it's the right thing to do, to have curriculum that's well thought out, both secondary and tertiary effects of what that curriculum would be. So what do we do now? Like everyone else, I'm just asking for a non-biased curriculum. I'm not asking for it to be pro this or pro that. I just want it to be accepting of all beliefs and all ideals and maintain love, honor, and respect for all. By the way, if you need help with that, there's several of us, including myself, that would be glad to volunteer our time to be a part of that committee. And we can concentrate on accepting those who are actually different than us, encourage what we here in Irvine, the reasons why we moved to Irvine, the diversity that we all embrace, and encourage the dialogue that embraces the spirit of aloha. Thank you.
Great. Mr. Boozman, thank you very much. All right, next up will be Noelle Fairchild, followed by Glenn Nuttall.
Honorable members of the school board, I am Noelle Fairchild. I currently have 3 children in the IUSD, 2 at College Park Elementary and 1 at Venado Middle School. I myself am also an alumni of the IUSD. I would like to discuss some of the recent changes to the sex ed curriculum that has been spoke on before. I'm very excited that our district and pleased that you have formed a parent review committee, and I appreciate that you consider the opinions of parents and teachers before you approve new curriculum. Just a little background on myself. I've worked for a company called the Birds and Bees Connection. I have taught puberty classes for 6 years. I've taught hundreds of young women and men ages 8 to 13 all about puberty, their anatomy, and human reproduction. I'm very comfortable talking about this subject and have had great conversations with my own children. I understand a lot of parents are not comfortable with that, and you do bear a responsibility of having accurate sex education in the public schools. The state of California has issued new mandates regarding our sex ed curriculum, and in my opinion, has unintentionally conveyed a message that I am not comfortable with as a parent. The place in the middle is not a true depiction of history. This movie takes a very negative standpoint of Christians, and the impression is that they hate the transgendered community. If the point of this film is to educate children on acceptance, I fail to see the value of introducing a film that depicts unfairly a major portion of the population as unaccepting of the other. I'm respectfully asking you to remove this movie from the approved list, and I was also able to contact all 8 middle schools in the IUSD. The majority of the middle schools chose not to show this film as they did not see a benefit to their students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Fairchild. All right, Glenn Nuttall, and followed by Hillary Huffmeyer.
Thank you, members of the board. I appreciate this opportunity to speak. My name is Glenn Nuttall. Currently, my wife and I have 7 children in the Irvine School District, and we've got 2 more coming down the road. We're comfortable with human reproduction. I will try not to repeat things because my views go with the room here, and you can imagine how I feel about this. But I would like to give maybe a bit of a different perspective on the A Place in the Middle film. The girl is just a darling girl who likes boy things. That's not uncommon. There's lots of darling girls that like boy things. I've got 2 of them. And in this movie, the teacher is a transgender, and the girl equates herself as being in the middle, just like her teacher. And the message that I got from the film is that girls who like boy things need to now worry about their gender identity, that maybe they're not girls, maybe they're transgender. And the message was also the same for boys in an opposite way, doing some other things that were said during the movie, where the teacher doubted the male energy of a group of boys. So yes, again, for a whole bunch of reasons, this film does not add value, and in fact, if anything, it foments gender questions for 7th graders, which is just too early. That's not age appropriate at all. And the other issue, and we've talked about the ACLU, everybody knows the ACLU has their own agenda, and without regard to whether you agree with it or not, we do know that they're very divisive, and that there are some that love what they have to say and others that are absolutely appalled. And if the ACLU's materials are adopted in Irvine, your rate of non-participation of students will go way up. Parents will take their kids out. I'll take my kids out. I think a lot of these folks will take their kids out. And won't that really just defeat the whole purpose? Isn't that worse for education to adopt a program that people will be appalled by and not participate in? So I urge you to consider at least that. And yes, I think if us parents are able to review materials and agree to materials, then we can come to a program that has the greatest level of participation that really accomplishes what it's supposed to do. So I urge you to get us involved and hear our voice. Thank you.
Mr. Nuttall, thank you very much, and thank you for your support in our schools by putting many children through. You're good for our enrollment. Thank you very much. Hillary Huffmeyer, followed by Rebecca Goldstone.
Good evening, President Glaske and Superintendent Walker and members of the board and staff. My name is Hillary Huffmeyer. I'm a fairly new IUSD parent. We have 5 kids, not quite the 9 of the Nuttles, but ours are 4 elementary students. We have 4 elementary school students and 1 preschool age coming up. And our oldest is in 6th grade, and she's getting ready to move into middle school. So obviously we have this on our mind as well. So we're concerned about this new curriculum, the new requirements. We understand that you are working to implement these new requirements that are related to this California Healthy Youth Act. And we appreciate your efforts in working with the Health Advisory Committee, and we know that you are concerned, that you're concerned about us, and we've heard you want to hear from parents and that you are concerned, and I appreciate that. To be brief, I do agree with the things that parents have shared so far. I'm concerned about what I've heard about this sex ed in the 7th grade and what was shown at our middle school at Venado. The video, I agree that it's unnecessary. It's something that could be done better. And I echo what parents have said about waiting. From what I understand, we don't have necessarily a deadline that this needs to be accomplished by, so I would appreciate you considering waiting for that, for curriculum that is appropriate and for videos that are appropriate. And as the other parents have mentioned, I would also echo as well, just that I would appreciate as much parent involvement as possible, including the elementary school level. I feel, as a parent of many elementary school students, but no middle school and high school students, I felt uninformed, and I would appreciate greatly being informed and making sure other elementary school parents are also in the loop and informed as you're making these considerations. So again, I would like to echo and support what's been said so far and ask that you consider this seriously involving us as parents and making sure that we have a say before final decisions are made in this new curriculum, and I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Ms. Huffmeyer, thank you very much. Rebecca Goldstone, followed by Anne Marie Stewart. Ms. Goldstone, welcome.
Thank you for your work and for the opportunity to address you tonight. I have 3 children in IUSD, and my oldest will be attending 7th grade next year. I understand that your role as a board is to provide governance so that IUSD is in compliance with the state laws and education standards. But I have several requests as you look into the curriculum decisions regarding coming into compliance with the Healthy Youth Act. As stated, first, I too ask you to delete the movie A Place in the Middle. The Healthy Youth Act states that instruction will not reflect or promote bias, and that factual information be accurate and objective. Clearly, this movie is biased against Christianity, as it improperly depicts the role of Christian missionaries, and it does not present accurate information on the topic. Next, I ask you to consider alternative curriculum. What is being taught this year is too much too soon. In that consideration, my father actually wrote a curriculum for all of Indiana public schools that's being implemented, and I'm going to make that available to the TOSA for her to actually have something else to look at and consider. The state has not given a date to come into compliance for this new act, so please delay for another year the curriculum decisions for middle school and high school courses coming into compliance with the Healthy Youth Act. Another option would be considering creating your own curriculum that meets the requirements of the Youth Act but also meets the needs of our unique population in Irvine. Furthermore, I realized that there were 2 teachers on the Healthy Youth Advisory Committee. However, I'm requesting that you vet the curriculum so that more than just 2 teachers will have input on such an important topic. I ask you to require a group of elementary, middle, and high school teachers, as well as parents, to be part of the curriculum vetting process. And as was stated, there's a wealth of people in this room and in the district who would love to help with that as parents. And last, one of the stated outcomes of the Healthy Youth Act is to encourage communication with parents, guardians, or trusted adults and provide knowledge and skills to do so. So would you please consider creating an online unit of the sexual health instruction so that parents can partner with students, dialogue can be encouraged, and parents can teach their values regarding these sensitive topics to our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Goldstone. Next up, we have Anne Marie Stewart, followed by Sarah Glidewell.
Board Member Glaske, we have 5 minutes remaining in the 30-minute limit.
Okay, so let's try to go as quick as we can. Thank you.
Okay, hi, thank you. My name is Anne Marie Stewart. This is my husband, Sean. He's here for support because typically my voice starts shaking. I just want to say that, well, first, my husband and I, we've been in Irvine for just over 10 years. We have 4 children. 3 of them are currently in elementary schools here in IUSD. We feel so very blessed to be a part of this community. It's such a diverse community. We embrace everything that is within Irvine. It's the Irvine School Board, the community, the city. They've done such an amazing job representing everybody. And, you know, I'll even say that this country goes out of its way to defend every culture and every religion, but at this time, I don't feel like Christians are being fairly represented in this curriculum. My oldest daughter's in 5th grade, so I have a couple more years to go, so I've not experienced the curriculum ourselves, but speaking to other parents and seeing what's coming home, it's somewhat shocking, and to find out that the curriculum has been written by Planned Parenthood, really, I can't accept that. To be fair, it's just not. I'm sorry. This is where I lose it. But what I want to say is that I agree with everything that all these other parents have come up here and said. It's wholeheartedly my beliefs that it's not appropriate curriculum. It's way too much information, way too soon. I'm not naive. I know that information has to be given to junior highs. You can't wait until high school. But there's got to be a more appropriate way to do so. My daughter would not be able to handle this in any way. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Stewart, thank you very much. We have Sarah Glidewell, followed by Natalia, no last name given. Before we get there, I know we're going to hit our time limit here in just 1 sec. I'd like to have approval from these concurrence from my colleagues. We just have a couple more left over. I'd like to have everyone have an opportunity to speak.
Motion.
Great, have a second? Second. Great, thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Glidewell, thank you very much, followed by Natalia.
Hi, I just want to say I do have 2 elementary school kids, and we moved here, and we have been so impressed with this school. And this district, we love being here. I have not seen the movie or anything. I just looked over the 6th grade curricular today, and I read through all the 136 pages, and I understand you guys are trying to fulfill the law and all that other stuff, but there's just what everyone else has been saying, such not age-appropriate things, I think, for 6th graders. I mean, there are things discussed in there about just this one section really got to me about preventing the STIs in different activities of sexual activities instead of traditional sexual intercourse, bathing together, anal sex, oral sex, masturbation. If this makes you uncomfortable, think about the kids and how uncomfortable that would make them feel. It makes me uncomfortable talking about it right now. And I just do not feel that is appropriate at all for our children. And I just want to repeat what everyone else has been saying, that we can wait. There's no rush. We can figure out a program where, as a community, we can make the best for our children and make sure that they get the best sex ed that they can get without feeling uncomfortable and making parents happy. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Glidewell. We have Natalia, followed by Lizbeth.
Hi, good evening, board members. My name is Natalia. I'm not prepared for this. I work for the county, for the Office of Education. I have a daughter in elementary. She's in 3rd grade. I came because I received an email from fellow parents, and I went and I looked and I wanted to know what it was about. So I'm here to show my support to the parents. One of the things that I wanted to ask is that I would love to know if parents can have a say while you're reviewing the curriculum, and I want to offer you time if you decide to open a curriculum like that. I do believe that too much information too soon sometimes can be a little bit misleading. I don't want to shelter my daughter into an environment that I know is going to happen at some point. Things happen at school, so you know. So it's better to have informed parents and informed teachers. So we really are here to show you support, and if we ever decide to open like a parent group or something to vet the documents and curriculum, I'm more than happy to volunteer my time. So thank you.
Right. Natalia, thank you very much. Next up is Elizabeth, followed by Jennifer Lee.
Hi, good evening. As a parent of a very soon-to-be 7th grade, I am very concerned about what I hear other parents talk about this sex education program that is being implemented in our schools. I cannot tell you because I haven't experienced this, but just hearing what they are saying, I can tell you that there's a lot of materials that I don't feel comfortable, and I am not closed-minded or anything. I talk to my kids openly about sex, about what they can expect, and they're small, and there's still some vocabulary that is being used that it makes me uncomfortable. And most of all, this is the same school district that pulled back a year the sex or the body education from 5th grade to 6th grade because they thought that the kids in 5th grade were not ready to learn about their bodies and what they were going to experience. And my kid is going to 7th grade next year, and he's going to be faced in making decisions about, are you pro or con being a sexual orientation? So it just makes no sense. This is the same school district that thought my kid was not ready this year to learn about himself. And then 3 months later, you're going to expose them to all this old information. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I will definitely be willing to, like the rest of us, be part of whatever program you want to have us involved. And I'm not against the information. I am against the form, the way that is presented to our kids. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The last request to address the board I have is from Jennifer Lee. Ms. Lee, welcome.
Good evening, school board members and fellow citizens. I have 5 children, 4 at Northwood Elementary School and 1 at Venado. It has come to my attention that anti-Americanism and anti-Christianity has infiltrated the middle school, namely Venado. It was to my chagrin that such types of teaching are poisoning the minds and hearts of every unsuspecting 7th grade student in the Venado Middle School population. I am referring to the film, A Place in the Middle. Why the content was not carefully reviewed and permission given by students to see and review such propaganda is outrageously not obvious to me. I am in the blind as to where our parental rights and faithful citizenship of America went wrong here. But time has come to seize the moment and ask for the protection of the rights of parents to approve or disapprove the thinking behind such unpatriotic films interjecting that Americans have caused harm to this gentle and peaceful ethnic group, claiming that they are persuaded against their will to take the pledge and forced to repeat it over and over again, day after day, to be patriotic and respectful to the United States of America's sacred flag. But that is not all this evasive film shows. Although brief as it is, the very part of the short clip of the assassination of the pledge of the American flag, the strategy of the debunking of the pledge is noted, quick and short. The depths of its meaning far surpasses its subliminal and inferential deference to not pledge to the flag could be noted at once and addressed to the total audience of Venado's unsuspecting 7th graders. But this is not the only issue at hand. We are not given the chance to defend our Christian faith. The irony lies straight-faced in turquoise color. As the child, born as a girl, we see the ending of the movie with her wearing an obvious emblem of the Christian faith, a plain but elegant turquoise cross around her neck. But wait, there is more to the film than meets the eye. The third and final chapter of my response is the everyday common way of how the film portrays the ease of changing of what God created a human being to be is being changed before our very eyes, namely, a girl can become a boy and vice versa. This is only a feat that God can create and decide upon. It is an abomination of nature and God's specific rule not to be the gender of another sex other than what you have been created to be. Please see the movie and I will let you judge for yourselves. Are you smarter than a 7th grader? Thank you.